Decision making isn't always easy, and if we make the wrong choices, we can head off down the wrong path, and our lives can get seriously sidetracked. Our next guest knows a little something about that. Matthew Creighton is a former Alabama State Trooper with an interesting story. He's trying to help young people avoid getting sidetracked. Matthew, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Danny, for having me.
Absolutely. And your story is so interesting that you actually wrote a book about it, and this is it. It's Don't Get Sidetracked. Tell us a little bit about your book.
Yes, the story, like you said, Dan, is based on a true story about my life, and it talks about the Marine, the Guardian, the State Trooper, the convict, and the messenger. And you know what I do, Dan, is I go into schools, high schools, churches, youth groups, and just try to share my story, and hopefully they'll see and learn from my mistakes. You know, we hear all the time about particularly young athletes making bad decisions, and a lot of people think that, you know, if you mess with drugs, you're definitely gonna get sidetracked. But you know, I got sidetracked, and you know, I've never experimented with any kind of illegal drugs, and it's amazing that at our decision making, just like you were saying, sometimes you make a decision that doesn't appear to be much, and that decision will cause you to lose everything. I was a state trooper 18 years and went to the rank of lieutenant, and because of one decision, I got sidetracked and lost it all. And so that's what I'm trying to do, is help as many young people as I possibly can.
Now, I am wondering, you were a Marine. Those guys are incredibly disciplined. You were state trooper too. We think of them as being very disciplined. If you couldn't stay on track, where's the hope for the rest of us? I mean, I've got no prayer at all whatsoever, and I'm not trying to make light of the situation. But you said we've spoken before, it wasn't drug related, it wasn't alcohol related. What got you off course?
Then I pulled up to the gas pump one day during my state trooper days, to gas up my patrol car, and I overheard two guys bragging about money they had won at the dog tracks. And from that decision, I decided to just go check the dog tracks out, and I started gambling. And that one decision got me so sidetracked, I became so addicted to gambling. And eventually, like I said, it cost me an 18-year career, in and out of prison 3 times. It was just unbelievable. Just really messed my career up, you know. And I'm just thankful now that I was able to get back on track. And before I got out of prison the last time, I made a decision that I was going to share my story with as many people as I possibly could. And in fact, I'm going back into a place called ATEF, that's the Alabama Therapeutic Educational Facility, and talk to. That's a place that they sent me for help, and I'm going back there probably next week and talk to that group. But it's so easy to get sidetracked. You know, just a few days ago, a couple weeks or so ago, you hear stories about young athletes making these little decisions, and it wind up costing somebody life or possibly sending them off to prison. And that's my goal. Share it and hopefully help somebody.
Well, Matthew, thank you so much for being with us. And we'll have you on again sometime soon in the new year, and we'll talk a little bit more about your book and how you got back on track. You can find out more about Matthew and his book by calling 205-440-3347 or send an email to contact@matthewcreighton.com.